uncrack the mic. That's what we're gonna do. Ding dong. You can't just show up in here all on mute. What kind of craziness is that? Anyway, we are going to do a little quick unboxing today. But in the meantime, what I need to do is let my boy Paul up in this piece. So let me crank this open and then hit that, and then we should be good gravy. We should be good gravy. I'm going to do a quick unboxing, but of course, during this time, at any given point, you're able to ask questions about other things. I just need to grab the footage of this unboxing so that I can use it at a later date. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Oh, listen, I'm going to tell you guys something that's crazy that I don't know if you have this same problem, but I absolutely positively, unequivocally can't stand a single icon on my desktop. Not one. It legit drives me crazy. I like to see clean desktops. However, I have like 3 or 4 clips of a video that I'm fixing to do, and they just on here. And my Zoom is not letting me join the meeting. What the hang? Let's try this again. Let's try this again. Paul is not letting me join the Zoom meeting. What is up with that? There we go. That works. Now we'll see if Paul can get in here. Of course, everybody who's a member, you can grab the Zoom link from the members area, and then you will be able to slide into the backstage if you want to come kick it. Because, like Tribe Called Quest, you want to know if you can kick it, and I say, yes, you can. Speaking of Gretchen, hello, Gretchen. This is right up your alleyway. Let me move this over here. And this is completely right up your alleyway because I know the minute I said to the whole internet, ooh, look what I bought, Gretchen was like, ha 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 ha. And I'm like, shut up, Gretchen. Anyway, let me, boom. No, 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 no. I get mad work done. I just can't stand icons on my desktop. Like it just when I go to people's screens and they got icons all the way across, it gives me the heebie-jeebies. I know it's my own personal OCD, but I just can't stand it. And maybe it has to do with working, Apple retail for so long. I've seen, looked at pristine desktops every day for many, many years. Nothing like dusting off the old teleprompty while you're doing it. Yeah, but maybe that's where it comes. I'm not even sure where it started, but I can't stand it. There are cool apps that you can use that help you hide all your icons temporarily to do like screen shares and things. And I think that's the other reason why I always have a clean desktop is I do a lot of training, right? As you guys know. So if I'm over here and I hit one of these moves right here, you get to see, look, no, there's no like weird pictures of any porn I downloaded or something like that. You know what I mean? So maybe that's the other side of it too. Speaking of weird porn, what's up, Paul? Did you get a haircut? Man, you're muted. Old people always be on mute in Zoom. Can anybody explain that to me?
I need a I no, but I need a haircut.
Oh, it's Brill Cream then. You guys remember Brill Cream? All the OGs at church used to just lay it down with the old Brill Cream. Luis is laughing at you, Paul. All right, Gretchen, damn it. Look, boom. I was going to do it yesterday. And then I was like, you know what? Let me finish doing what I said I was going to do. And I'll save this for today. And then today's video will be a nice little capture of images through this. So let me tell you why a completely die-hard Sony camera guy when it comes to video, Fuji camera guy when it comes to photography, why I wanted to get a PowerShit V1 shot. I'll use the proper terminology. Oh, Gretchen, gotta come backstage for this one. How about you take your butt back in the garden and do whatever you're doing? Walk the dog. What are you doing, Gretchen? she haven't been in the backstage for weeks. I pull out the Canon camera. Gretchen like, sup, fool? Wait, let me make little bubbles. Well, he's back. He is back, in theory. All right, should be back. Oh, that crashed everything. That like broke the deck link quad, the whole 9 yards. I'm pretty sure you guys can hear me, but hold just one tick. I'll be right back. That happened yesterday too, which is hella weird. That means that whatever it is that caused that to happen, it is replicatable. Paul, can you hear me? Okay, good. Hold on. I'm gonna unplug the deck link and come right back. 1 second. Bingo. He's back. Okay, so what happened yesterday too when I was doing something. I created a new scene and then I went to go drag in a camera and it just ate everything. So we're not gonna do that. I'll figure this one out later, but that was crazy. That happened yesterday too. And luckily I was doing nothing. I was just on a call, but it happened twice. So now I'm going to tell everybody. Anyway, let me put this back to how I had it. And then, okay, that works. Okay, don't drag anything. Leave every stuff alone. Stop messing with it. What happens if I do it from this kind of camera overlay? Okay, I can just press the button. I'm not going to drag Paul. I'm going to put Paul in here like this. Yo, that was so weird. And it's so funny there I use Gretchen. That happened absolutely yesterday. That is so crazy. Actually, I kind of like when the technology does what it does because it gives me a reason to go investigate things. You know what I mean? Otherwise, there's no fun in this. Let's go there. And then let me do recording. Make sure I got all the cameras. Put on the B camera for the recording. Turn that on. Yay! All right, cool. Now we're good. So the B camera is recording. All right, let's crack open the old parts. Anyway, my point was what I was trying to say is the reason why I thought this was a phenomenal idea is recently the industry has been coming absolutely correct. Stop clicking that. That was nothing. The industry has been coming correct with compact system cameras, right? When sometimes you'll see the shortcut CSC and compact system cameras are legit the hot snot nowadays, right? They're just quite amazing. Paul, say something real quick. How come you're muted again? Did you press anything? Gretchen? Okay, both of them are muted. How is that a possibility? No, Gretchen, your red mute is actually on. No, in Zoom. Oh, okay. How about that?
Now,
There we go.
can you hear me now?
Yeah.
There, it said that the host wasn't allowing me to unmute.
Well, Paul's the host, so
that's not unusual. Paul
that ex-
often shuts me up.
But then we can't hear Paul either, so he always mutes himself. I don't know how that happens.
He's still muted.
No, because whatever it did that borked the meeting, it also is not
better?
triggering Zoom active speaker for some reason, which is super
Is that
strange.
better?
Yeah. Now we can hear you.
I guess it helps when you haven't got yourself muted in Ecamm.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
You see? And I'm saying, did you mute yourself? No. I'm not going to drag that from the camera switcher because Lord knows that's how it broke the first time. For whatever reason, the Zoom active speaker is not triggering now, which is, not important for what we're doing today, but it just threw, you know how it is when you got ADHD. You see something like, oh, squirrel. Yeah, absolutely. Rodecaster Pro, Rodecaster Duo, best thing in the planet. Absolutely bulletproof. Most things that I read here coming from people that have Roadcasters, all not I don't know, I'm gonna pretty much say all difficulties are user error. I've been using Roadcasters since the Rodecaster 1 came out about 2019, and for the most part it was 100% bulletproof. It has never done anything to me. Everything that's ever happened to it has been 100% user error. Anyway, let me crack this box open. Shoo, we're gonna go here. Now this is scaring me because I don't want to break anything, but let's just do it like this. We're gonna try. User error is a known error, 100%. That's not the right one. It's supposed to be this one. 3. Oh, dude, not only did when I restarted the deck link shuffled cameras on me. That's weird. Anyway, so let's get the old power stuff. Uh-oh. Let me do this.
Move, body, move, move your body, do you move?
Thank you, JB. Appreciate you, fam. All right. So, compact system cameras have been just blossoming lately. And what's been quite crazy to me when it comes to compact system cameras is they are getting big body camera features in small bodies. And for the most part, for what we're doing as content creators, most of the features are not really about us. They're just things that work, but people tend to put a lot into them, or make like it's the end all be all. But I mean, at the end of the day, nowadays you can shoot dope content with your iPhone. I am on the theory of I do not wish to shoot with my iPhone because of a couple of things, which I'll touch on real quick. Let's get this out of here. Boom. Let's see. What size batteries did they go with? I tried everything in my power not to look at other people's videos. It's an LP-E17. This is old school Canon G7X style battery. So curious as to now how much oomph they pack into these bad boys, because these little guys don't really have a lot of time on them, but you know, is what it is. The idea is to keep them light.
That means anybody with an M6 or an M50 can use their old batteries.
All right. Anybody with an M50, you're good to go according to Miss Gretchen. Okay. Here's a handle that I will never use because it's crispy AF. Let me see. Does it loosen? It also has memory, which I don't like. But I mean, listen, their goal is to keep it at $8.99. This is an afterthought, but no biggie. Who cares? Never use those anyway. I either use one from Falcam that has a quick release for magnetic, or I make something leather. I just cut some leather and make my own strap because I have leather tools. Don't ask me why. Habit I picked up in Japan. All right, it comes with a little furry afro. This one will get replaced by a third-party one at some point in time. Again, they're just trying to keep the cost down, but this stringy, I don't like it. I like the ones that come with the DJI. It's a different feel. It's super stupid, but it's a different feel. That doesn't say that makes it bad. It will work. It's just how it, eventually softens up. So sometimes you just got to sit there and, ball it up and loosen it up to break up the fibers, because they didn't do it at the factory. And it's already softening just by fussing with it a little bit. So when you get the fuzzies from DJI, whomever, it's good for you to fluff them just a little bit. Don't just take it out all matted. But that's cool. That'll get rid of some of the wind noise. And then I did buy an extra battery, and then I just opened it at Pro Camera and stuck it in here. This is a good point. You should never have to press a phase button on on a mixer if you have a phase problem in your mixer, it's because your cable is bad. Because the lines are put in a specific direction in order not to cross phasing. The only time you should ever have a phase problem is if you're using something that has left and right cables. You know what I'm saying? So for instance, a microphone doesn't have left and right cables, so you can't create a phase problem with the left and right cable. I mean, yeah. But if you're taking two channels and you're using one for left and one for right, and you flip it, you could create a phase. But if you're using a mic cable, it's mono. There should be no phase issue. And if you're connecting a stereo input and you connect it backwards, you create a phase. All you do is put the cables the other direction. You should never need a phase button. But if you found it, that's dope. And it's probably why it's buried, because it's normally not something would happen. That's only going to happen if you have twisted cables. All right, this is the main guy. Boom, boom, boom. And that's it. They got, the good style origami boxing. Okay, nothing else in the box. But yeah, going back to what I was saying, because you know how my brain works. Compact system cameras are just getting kind of incredible. And after traveling a lot for work, I was missing my ZV-E1. I gave my ZV-E1 to Mary Lou's sister, and because Mary Lou destroyed hers on the stream, which is pretty funny. And then I was just starting to miss it, because there are times where you just want something you can slip in your pocket. You don't need any extra lenses, and you can just put it to work. It can do video, it can do photos, and it can do everything. And wow, this is dope. It's small. It's slightly chunkier than a ZV-E1. It's slightly chunkier, if I go pancake, than the Fuji, but it's light though. The Fuji is metal, so it's heavy. Let me do a little trick here. I guess it's kind of hard to tell with the leather, but it's not that much. The Fuji's still heavier. Even naked, no lens, it's still heavier. Yeah, this thing is going to bring some things to the table that the ZV-E1 can't even think about. And that's probably, mostly because it's 3.5, 4 years newer. But yeah, we'll get into that. All right. And it's slightly chunkier than the Fuji X100-6. However, it's still lighter. So what they did is, it feels like plastic body around, but they covered it in rubber. Like the whole body is covered in rubber except for right here. And that's cool. Like, I don't care about plastic body versus not plastic body, because I'm not going to drop my camera. I'm a grown up. I take care of my stuff. I don't drop cameras. And if you did, it's an $800 camera. So what? Just kidding. Buy some insurance. Like, there's ways to not be. If you're babying your gear, you're not working. Let's just put it that way. I take care of it is different from babying it. Has this no clicky aperture ring right here in the front, but I'm pretty sure because it's basically a rotational potentiometer, or a rotary encoder, another way to say it. You could probably reassign this to all myriad sorts of things. I like the fact that the lens just goes in and it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blades to hide the lens. There's a little focus checker and light meter. There is a vent here on the top, and this is where it's going to crush the ZV-E1 in 3, 2, 1. Vent holes. That means it has a built-in fan. That means fan hole, fan hole, fan hole. Microphone, also air comes out hole. You know what I'm saying? You know this is the microphone because if you take off the hot shoe doohickey, which is tight. Jesus, Canon. Damn, son. You know he got arthritis. There you go. This covers it. So you know that's the microphone area right there, because the little afro covers it right there. This guy has vents, but they're not passive vents, JB. These are active vents. In other words, there's an actual fan in this piece. That means you can get 4K City, which means it's going to be dope for live streaming. That was the one thing that had me like, okay, fam, this might be a move. All right, look clean on the inside. I wonder if my Ulanzi, I don't think I'll need it, but let me check if the Ulanzi fan fits in there. What drawer did you put it in, stupid? Yes, it do. The Ulanzi fan fits in there anyway. So if I needed to, I could double up the cooling activity with this Ulanzi fan, which is cool, which is quite gangster. Actually, it probably fits better this way because there's a little hook. Yeah, that's a little bit more stable. All right, so now we know. Yo, Slick Blow. It's driving me out of my mind. This is another thing that's going to shine for speed. Come on, Sony, catch up. Is you have your rosary button here. So you got a up, down, left, right, center for press. It also rotates. So it's a standard, technically 6-way. It's like a 6-way D-pad. You have your play button, your menu button, and then menu function. Hopefully these are reassignable to some particular point. You have your on and off on the top, and then you have your zoom and tele here, record button separate from the photo button, which is also neat. And then you have your selector dial. Also back here, this is a little easy to see maybe. This is photo mode, video mode, which is better than having to dip into a menu to change that. This makes life so much easier. This is going to mess me up is because on Canon, the PSAM button is not a PSAM button. Normally you have program, aperture, shutter, manual. Canon got to be a-holes, program, shutter, aka time value. What? AV is for aperture value, and M is for manual. So that PSAM is going to mess me up because it's out of order. So I will always, for a couple of months, have to look at this to get it into the right mode. I don't know why they decided to make up their own words. Nobody in the whole industry does this except for Canon. They're the only ones that think time value is different from shutter. Why, Gretchen? You don't even know. All of you guys, you guys are used to it. But
I'm so
why?
used to it. It's goes all the way back. I mean, it's TV back on my on the camera I've had longer than I've had Bob.
Right.
So-
I'm saying, so it's been there for a long time. So I think when they first did the English translation, they just went with time value and they've never changed it. It's super funny. Everybody else has PSAM. This one, the PSAM buttons are different, but where's my other one? This one has PSAM, right? So program, get focused, Daniel son. Program, shutter, aperture, manual. And then callback, 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 built-in filters. Then you got your video mode, you got vlog mode, you got auto mode. And it's forever rotatable, which is cool. Hopefully this one is also forever rotatable. It is. Okay. Some of them you go to the end, you got to go to the other end. That's also irritating. I prefer to just only rotate in one direction. It's a little bit faster. But after manual, I have, looks like 1, 2, 3 memories, which is good. I have no clue what the double circle is for, unless that's portrait mode. And then this SCN mode is to grab some sort of scenes. And this A plus probably is intelligent automatic, I'm guessing. Gretchen gave it a nod. Does that normally mean intelligent automatic? Or all your pro cameras don't have intelligent automatic, do they?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
Yeah, they still have it there if you want to. It's the auto mode that is just like, why do you have a camera that costs as much as my R5 and are only putting it in auto mode?
Yes. I tell you what I
is.
do use intelligent automatic for. When I go into a situation and I have to be quite expedient and I don't have time to muck about, I'll go into Intelligent Automatic, do a meter press just to see what the camera thought was the right answer. I'm going to make some executive decisions to pass by that, but I have a dope baseline. So in English, say I roll into this situation in my room right here. I press this button and it says, okay, you want to do F4 at 800 ISO, and we're going to stay in 1/60 because you're doing video. I'm going to change it to F5.6 so I don't have to worry about focus. And then I'm going to take the ISO up to 1 past 800, which in some cameras is 1,000, in some cameras is 1250. And then I'll be basically the same look, but with my control. So that's what I use Intelligent Automatic for in just really, really weird situations, like you're in the night somewhere and you're just trying to move quickly. But I'm with Gretchen. I won't say that shooting automatic is dumb. You absolutely should shoot it automatic in the beginning because you got work to do and you're still learning your camera. But don't stay there. You can get way more creative if you learn to use your buttons. So in the side over here, we have HDMI out, which is a micro HDMI, and of course USB-C. And hopefully this will allow me to just recognize it in Ecamm without adding the app, because those apps normally just cause more trouble than they're worth. Real deal Holyfield mic input, which is phenomenal on a camera of this size. And also, more phenomenal is real deal Holyfield headphone jack so that you can monitor. Now, what this guy is designed for is for vlogging. So the lens on the front is a, where'd it go? F2.8 to F4.5, which is dope. At F2.8, you're going to get the milky bokeh that everybody wants. Here is a, what's the word we're looking for? Here is the word we're looking for. This is a public service announcement. Stop chasing bokeh. I'm going to tell you why. In photography, it's golden. In videography, it messes up more footage than it's worth. Because while you're chasing bokeh and you're shooting at f2.8, your focus range is about yo big. And that's off of a big beefy hand. So let's call it 6 inches. That means if your subject tilts their head back 4 or 5 inches, their face is out of focus because you're trying to be at f2.8 because you want the quote unquote milky bokeh. Now that Final Cut, DaVinci Resolve, what's that other one called? Premiere. Now that they all have really dope masking, stay at f4.5, f5.6, and if you want a bokeh, mask the subject out and bokeh the background your damn self in video. In photo, go to town, knock yourself out. But in video, you're going to lose focus trying to shoot at f2.8 if you don't know what you're doing, if your camera's not on the tripod, if your subject matter isn't relatively still. Trying to get milky bokeh shots of children, real stupid. Shoot kids at like f8 so that they can be in focus. And just adjust it later. You're going to just fight. You're going to fight so much trying to keep your subject matters in focus. And that's why people always be in the group talking about, I set up my whole camera and Ecamm's making my picture out of focus. No, you bought a Sigma 16 f1.4 and you're shooting at f1.4 because you didn't feel like cleaning your room, and you move your head like, now you're out of focus. In focus, out of focus. Why are you laughing, Gretchen?
I just had this conversation with Bob the other day because he was out practicing depth of field and the flowers and stuff, and that, he's new to this, and I was like, you got to. By the way, I found out about the T.
Yes.
I looked at it. If you look like my two, I pulled up an old Kodak, one of the early ones, and then this old Zeiss icon. When it comes to the shutter,
how'd you mute yourself? Both of you guys went mute. I didn't do nothing. Paul, did you click something?
Sorry. I
didn't touch anything.
Okay.
I did. I set a camera on my mouse. Sorry.
Poor mouse.
But the shutter on these, the time, you have the 100, the oh God, they're tiny. I can hardly read them. The 50, the 2.5, the B for bulb, and then you have T.
Right.
And that was if you wanted to hold it open. So that's where the T, the time value came from. It was
Ah,
all the way back. And I mean, this is old Zeiss Icon, and this guy is from 1929.
good
So
Lord.
yeah, so
That camera was born the same year as Paul.
Close.
anyway, so
That's
that's
cool.
my
That's good
trivia.
info. That is good info. Let me go to this question that we got, which is a good question. Absolutely great question. So Bose Promo TV wanted to know, what light gimbal could you use? You know, here's the thing that's really dope about this camera, which is unlike this camera. The Canon has built-in stabilization. It has in-body stabilization. So, as a vlogging camera, you shouldn't need it. But if you did want to rock a gimbal, I would look at like the MT2 from Hohem, or the SC models from Ronin. Really really light, or the Siyun. Eden's going to yell at me for saying that wrong. Those, they have the, I want to call it the Move models. They're really small, but any small gimbal will rock this. Again, I'm going to say something crazy. I am completely over the idea for now of a small gimbal. If you are busting out a gimbal to shoot this, you're making your job harder than it needs to be, and therefore you're not going to do your job. Hold on. Let me see if this works. Nope. Video file not found. What about this scene? Nope. I'm going to make it just a new one and try not to break anything. Okay, not now. And then blank. And then I'm going to do this. Hold on. I'm just doing this on the fly because I really don't want to break doing my little drag and drop tricks, because I broke the last time. 1, 2, 3. Boom. And then I'm going to
We have a new person in the room.
who that is. Oh, what's up, JB? Oh, you just messed up my whole party now, JB. Damn it. I'll just do it this way then. And then we'll just cheat and put JB over here. And then we'll just leave the door open. Somebody come through. Wait, you got to go like this. All right. I'm not going to attempt to drag, because that's just going to break. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. And then we're going to go like this. There we go. And we'll just do this for now. Does it have image stabilization for video, and how many stops? Let's crack open the manual. See, what I was going to say earlier, Gretchen, is I purposely avoided looking at like anybody else's videos, because I wanted to be, what is the word? Not unchained. That's Django. I wanted unbiased. That's the word I'm looking for. There we go. So I didn't look into any of that stuff. So let's investigate. Image stabilization. This people.
Wait, you had the question about the gimbal, so I was wondering. That's why,
Oh yeah. This thing here, people, this is called the manual. I know you like to buy equipment and not read them. Your boy actually reads these things. So in between live stream and class today, I would take this up. I would take the Japanese section, which is in the front, and これも読んでできるけど、多分ね、文字簡単は英語で。そしたら、この紙を読んで、ちょっと待ってください。Let's see. It's really short, which means that they have most of the manual. They have most of the manual online, which is cool with me. The only thing that they really have in there is all the precautionary tales, which is fancy. It says precautions for the Bluetooth and the Wi-Fi feature. So that's in here. And that is all that she wrote as far as this manual goes. So they want you to go and grab the manual from online, which is fine with me. Some people complain about that. I'm like, bro, you're not going to read the other book. I know you guys because I see you guys on the internet complaining about stuff that's in like page 3. So, yeah, this is Doe Cannon for Precautionary Tales. This is a lot of book just for precautionary tales. I just want to tell you that. So,
Well, the
there's
great
that.
thing about online manuals are you can search them too. You
Bingo.
don't have to thumb through pages.
Bingo. And you can do what I showed you guys a couple weeks ago, drop it in a Notebook LM. And while it's chilling in Notebook LM, you can basically ask it questions, right? So let me put this back on and switch.
Plus,
this
you
to
can have it in
customer
your
view.
Kindle or on your phone or wherever you're going to be if you're out, like when
Out
I
and
was
about.
out of nowhere and I'm like, oh crap, I can't remember how to do this. And I have it there ready to open and can look real quick and search and figure it out.
Right. So when you were in like Zimbabwe or Botswana, that's what you were in Botswana. You know what I said.
Yeah.
Botswana. There we go. You want a remote control gimbal? All of the gimbals come with remotes nowadays. Pretty much all of them. I won't say all. I would say pretty much all of it. When I was at NAB, what was the one we went to behind Osbot? Paul Hohem. Hohem has a dope remote control. I mean, talking like $100 for a gimbal nowadays. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this again, and I'm gonna say this again, and again. Why do you need a gimbal? Because the reason why I asked this question is what's going to happen is you are adding complexity to something that is designed for simplicity, and then you don't take it out and shoot. Now, if you have a very specific reason to use a gimbal, knock yourself out. I think so many of the cats that I see, this camera is for content creators. If you're going to buy this camera to do quote unquote pro video, you're going to do it for a one shot and a one shot only. Like I have this shot I need this shot inside the car that's going to be traveling, and I need to pass the gimbal from one person in the car to another person in the car to get this unique perspective with this unique shot. That's worth throwing $900 at. But if you're going to buy a $900 camera and then put it on a $600 gimbal, you probably should have bought a $2,000 camera that has what it has. I don't know if you're not going to use this for sports coverage. This is not a sports coverage camera. Here's the reason why this is not for sports coverage. This don't come off. So no, this is not a sports coverage camera. I wouldn't even put it in that ballpark. Unless you're doing fan cam. You're going to run around and try to get pictures of overzealous soccer dads. If you want to do sports coverage, you don't buy an $800 camera. Just not. It's not built for that. It's not weather sealed. The first 3-4 drops of rain, your camera's dead. Like no, not at all. This is not that move. Although it's a dope camera, I wouldn't put it in that position. Now, people would do it and then complain it doesn't perform correctly. But that's like buying a Yugo and being mad that, you can't get 4 sheets of plywood in it. What do you guys call plywood in Canada? Yeah, that's nice. He muted. He think we heard him.
You're so
Joe,
mad.
you ain't say nothing, bro. You just said, it's like, brother, damn you. Yeah, this one is definitely not going to cover that. I mean, you would be better off to get 2 Osmo Action 5s or that G word that I don't really like anymore, GoPro 12s or whatever. You would do more damage with 2 GoPros for the same amount of money than taking this and trying to adapt it to sports coverage on a gimbal. It's not even the move. This could do sports coverage on a gimbal because I can throw on a 24-70 or better yet, a 70-200. Try Joel. What'd you say now?
I said we call plywood plywood.
There you go. I was joking. my homie that lives up there in Okotoks, he works at a lumber joint. His family has maple groves. I think that's called a grove. I don't know. What do you call a maple farm? Maple groves. That sounds right. I was like, what the heck kind of city is called the Okotoks? Anyway, so let me power this baby on because I'm with Luis. Like, I just wanted to check out the first impressions. Bingo. Oh, you know what you need to do? Rotate this here screen around. Okay, first questions is it wants to know, do you want to speak English? Boom. I wonder if this is touchscreen. I'll do that in a second. This month is military style. Oh yeah, so go backwards then. It has the day in the front. Today is the 19. You can. There you go. That works. You can touch it. That sounds so creepy. 4. Hey, guess what? Tomorrow's 420. 8. Okay, here's one thing that's weird. This is just minor stuff. This is UI stuff that drives me crazy. So I got the 8. I have to legit press enter. I just can't slide over. I can't slide over until I press enter. Those kind of things to me are just horrible user interface. There was somebody who just designed it, didn't test it out. Let's go to 46. Wait for the 00. And we got 30 seconds on that. So let me do it that way. You can flip this around. I'm going to swip this to Hawaii. I need to go to -10. Check my time real quick. Ooh. Honolulu. We number 1 on the list up in here, baby. Okay. And then waiting for my 46 so I can hit OK. And
Knows where you
4,
live.
3, 2, 1. Bingo. Ooh, nailed it. Nailed it. Yes, 420 and Easter because you're going to see colored eggs and tall chocolate bunnies. So, yeah, perfect. All the munchies on Easter Sunday is going to come out perfect. Here, let me unplug this. See, I wonder, I'm always curious about companies that ship with their batteries basically fully charged. Okay, and display mode is under info on Canon. It's been so long since I messed with a Canon, it's going to throw me off. And the battery light is not telling me anything. Oh, it's only like not even half full. So I am not a fan of companies that don't ship their batteries charged because Apple has spoiled us. And I know nobody else does it except Apple, but it drives me. If I was you would run somewhere and you're on vacation, and you know, oh, let's go to the Best Buy and buy a Canon PowerShot V1, and you like throw your battery in. Okay, let's go. Oh, we can't. We gotta wait for it to charge. Like, I can understand. Oh, well, it's been sitting on the shelf for many years. This camera came out Tuesday, last Tuesday. It still would be charged. Like, send the batteries charged, people. Apple does it. Why can't you? Just saying. Okay, so while it's doing that, it's complaining that there is no card in the camera. Gretchen said that it comes capable with batteries from the M50 and the M something else.
M6.
M6. There you go. That's the word I was looking for. All right, let me look for one other thing. SD card. That's what we wanted. We wanted a card of SD. Let's just put in. Is this sacrilege to put a Sony SD card in this Canon? This is what happens when you have a 3D printer. You just make all your own little SD card doohickeys. Thank you, Luis, for sending over that model. This is a Sony Tough Card, and it is a fast one. All right, so tell the SD card thing to hash up so it doesn't complain. The power indicator light that says it's charging is right there. Let's back on. I do want to see how this
Wait.
thing does USB connected. So right now, with it USB connected, it wants to smell the computer. And what that means is I don't have a way to turn that off at the moment, which is cool. This is going to sound crazy. This used to drive me nuts when you would plug in the camera and it would automatically go to this USB mode, which says computer. But in this particular case, it's good because that means if you mount this as a live stream camera, provided you don't have to do another menu to change it, I should be able to just select this from this little chart down here. And it does. It says Canon PowerShot V1, right?
Doc, did you say that it was an E17?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not the M50 or the M6. It's the RP. Sorry, I got mixed up. I'm too many.
Yeah, LPE 17. So it works RC.
Yeah, so that's the one that would be in the Canon RP.
Okay, so when you I do see the PowerShot in Ecamm. However, that doesn't work. So I probably have to plug it in like this and then plug it in again and see if it catches. And no. So this does require you to activate a mode in order to go into live streaming, which irritating because that means you can't just have it like plugged in and then power your stuff up with like this is new. Not that not everyone's gonna do it, only live streamers, but power your stuff up with a smart plug. That's the word I was looking for. So let me jump all the way over before I go through all these menus. Get to the top. Oh, you can't get to the top. There you go. I'm going to jump over it and see if I can put it in whatever kind of live streaming mode. So I, right now, using this is legit in the same boat as any of you guys. I haven't touched a Canon for so long, I will have no clue what I'm doing. Which is good, because then people are like, well, I don't know how to use my camera. Guess what? For the first 3 days, I don't know how to use mine either. I hate when people think you have some special skill or knowledge. And no, you don't. It's called, I read the manual, I pressed a bunch of buttons, and I figured it out. Why can't you do the same? Okay, let's go to the next one. It's in none of these. Or there's connect to smartphone, connect to wireless, upload to Canon, upload for Chinese mainland users. Look, they put in a built-in great firewall adjustment because they want to be able to upload the images to that market, and their internet is heavily locked down. So they actually put in a whole entire doohickey for that. That's kind of impressive. It just says advanced connection. Let me see. Airplane mode, Wi-Fi settings, camera name, GPS settings, which probably won't work in the basement. Choose USB connection app. There it is, Luis. If this thing makes me plug in the app, I'm going to be irritated. But I do have I have this, what do you call this thing? Decklink Quad. So I can just plug it in. You know what I mean? Video calls and streaming. Choose when using software that uses UVC, UAC to communicate to camera audio. There you go. That's good. Canon apps for phone. Yeah, I'm going to just use this. So Canon apps for phone says use when you're using the Canon app or software. So it does have built-in UVC. So let's set that. And then let's try again. Ooh. Plug it in, UVC. Come on, Irene. Oh, I swear. All right, let's see. Canon Power Shizzle V Whizzle. Haha! Gangster. Do not drag anything because it's going to break. Canon digital camera. Whoa. Ooh. Dang it. My cable is not the cutest. Let me switch to a different cable because that just broke everything. Yeah, let me switch cables. 1 second. You stop talking to me, camera. This is why you always have 240 by 40 cables in your mix, because you know these work. Now watch this camera make a liar out of me. These are a little heavy for the port. I'm also using the front ports on the old Mac Studio here, and maybe just to keep it from being kind of weird, I should tripod this baby. That's okay. I'm just plug it in for now. Ooh, look at that. That's untouched. Straight out of the box. No manuals, no nothing. Just picture. And I gotta say, it's kind of good. It's kind of good. Let's switch this. Any, mini, mighty, mo. No white balance yet. No nothing. That's crazy balls. That's super wide for the camera this small. That's wide at 8F. That is dope. And it's probably in picture mode. Oh, actually, knowing Canon, they're brilliant enough that when you plug it in UVC, it overrides everything. So, let me do this. Nope. That's funny. When you're in the UVC mode, the controls don't work. So UVC mode is only UVC mode. Yeah, I'm probably never using that. In UVC mode, it's almost like GoPro. Let me see what the camera says it is as far as coming into Ecamm. This UVC is coming in at 1080/30. All right, let me go back to this. Yeah, it's clean. It definitely needs to come off of auto white balance, but that's expected. These cameras, they don't understand skin tones of melanated humans because they're made in Japan. Yeah, it is crispy for 1080. I give you that. So the menu is also in UVC mode. The menu don't do jack. Okay. Again, understandable. The focus does work, though, in UVC mode. All right, so me personally, I'm probably never using UVC mode anyway. I would use a capture card. But it does work in UVC mode, Luis. So when you do your city, not your city's call, when you do your Camera Junkie talk, know that it will work in UVC mode directly, but it's basically in webcam mode. All the settings are mute. You're going to end up setting it from Ecamm, which, you know, not the end of the day. All right, let's switch this back. That's unique to know that. Very unique to know that. Let's go to 1. All right, so now let's go look at what they got in here. Shooting mode, not available in the current shooting mode. I had it in program aperture. Let's put it in, oh yeah, that's in video mode, and I'll put it in manual. Now in manual, I have 125 f4. So now I have my adjustments here. I can, you know, get in here and do all of the changes, slide this around, adjust. I'm gonna do 1/60 f4. That's fine. Leave the ISO to auto. It has servo autofocus, which is dope. You have let's see. You have your aperture values stuff. I mean, your exposure values you can set if you want. And let's go into the menu again. So this is set to full HD. So let's try this again. And let me go to 4K at 23.98, aka 4K 24. That's standard IPB. Let's see what this says. Light IPB. Okay. So let's try this. We're going to leave it at 4K. I'm setting it to 4K 24. And we're going to plug back into UVC to see if it'll stretch 4K over the UVC. Right? And then I got the high frame rate disabled. But if you do that, it goes to 120 frames. Anyway, so this is 4K based on 3840 by 2160. So that's a standard, the QHD, Quad HD. Okay, now it's back on UVC control. And then I'm going to check what Ecamm reads it as now. And Ecamm still reads it as 1080 over 30. So it looks like the webcam output in firmware version 1. I'm going to say this again because this is where YouTubers on the internet make me want to hurt somebody. In firmware version 1, it shoots 1080/30 out of UVC mode because that is something that could easily be updated in software. And a lot of times they just put it out working and they keep tweaking and then they mess with it. People love to be like, oh, they skipped it because they did this. And some people will say they can update that later in firmware. Other people will act like the world just attacked them because, you know, the internet's out to get them. So
Is there a firmware update for that camera?
this camera came out last Tuesday. I'm going to highly doubt it, but I will definitely check it. But yeah, it's just one of those things, right? I hate when people say that, especially with things that are easily updated in firmware. And you know this because they've been updated in firmware in the past. And they don't just say like, well, in this current version that is shipping with, that feature doesn't work, but we might get it later. That's a better statement instead of, no, the internet get cannons out to rob you. Oh my God. Sound recording is on. I'm going to set my audio to PCM 16-bit. You can do AAC 16-bit, which is slightly compressed. I'm going to always choose audio on PCM. The audio settings, you got built-in microphone, external microphone, hot shoe. Recording mode is auto. And then you can see they have actual meters in here that you can read, and they're pulling in at -6, which is dope. You can go in manual, of course, and then you can back that down. You can enable the wind filter and the audio noise reduction. For right now, I'm going to leave it on auto because I am probably never going to use the built-in audio in this thing, except for today when I go to test it. You got your exposure compensation, leave it at 0. ISO speed settings. You can give yourself an upper and lower limit. So you can set your lower limit to whatever. Let's see what the options are. It's only up from here. So you can go down to 100. And then you can set your maximum to 2560. Dang. I'm going to probably set my maximum to 6400 because, you know, it's not a Sony. Max for auto, I'm going to set that to 6400 and then back out. Call it a day. This touchscreen is actually good. Now, this is dope. Built-in ND filter. So you can do ND auto, ND on. I'm going to leave it at ND auto because Hawaii. But built-in ND filter that automatically comes on. You don't have to go find it in a tiny little button. Boom. I wouldn't bank on there being features you require to be. Yes. So this is a good point. So to finish my point, but with a very important piece of information, don't buy something expecting there to be a firmware update. That's just one of those things that if it's a little creature comfort that you kind of miss, that's possible in firmware, is not going to make or break your decision. Get it. If that's going to make or break your decision, don't, because you have no idea what's coming in the firmware updates. Okay, picture styles, we leave that on automatic, but Canon has always had pretty dope picture styles, so we're just going to leave that alone. We're back out of that. You got C-Log settings. So you can do C-Log 3. I'm sure there's more, but you can do various forms of C-Log. I'm going to put that back off. Go off, dang it. Because I'm going to shoot this in just pure mogul mode in the beginning. But you can adjust clarity, color filter, HDR, auto light optimization, highlight, tone priority. You can set all of those. I'm going to leave those on normal for today because I want to show this camera in its most naked version. You do have custom white balance in here. And there's no compatible images for selection, which is weird to me. And I'm going to tell you why. Okay, I'm going to tell you why this is weird to me. But it could be because I shot that shot on the Sony. But it says menu. Okay. This is where you would normally press the button and then go grab an image. If I come out of this menu and I go into here, the first picture on this memory card is of a white balance card shot in my room at this exact light settings because I don't change my light settings. But I'm assuming the reason why Canon can't read this is probably a Sony RAW image. But if I was to pull out my meter right now, if I had a JPEG of this, it might have worked. But I know for a fact that this is a Sony RAW image because it came off the Sony, or this is a Fuji RAW image because it came off the Fuji, and Canon just can't read it. So if I would do the same thing, I would set my light meter up in this room the way I normally do, and I'll take a picture, and then I'll be able to use the white balance that way. But this camera is going to be mostly for outside, so who knows? You got white balance correction. You got high-speed ISO noise reduction. That's cool. Time-lapse movie. You can enable that, and you got various different scenes. Moving objects such as walking people. Low. Family. Canon, you're doing the Lord's work here. They're not just giving you time-lapse, press a button and call it a time-lapse. They actually gave you some built-in recipes. This is good because most muggles have no idea how to shoot a time-lapse. They just know that they want to. All of the action cameras can do a good job at it, but there's settings that you have to pick, whether you want it to be sunset or people moving or plants growing or whatever. So it's cool that they're giving you some recipes. Let's see what the rest of the recipes are. This is people walking. This is slowly changing subjects such as clouds. And then the last one is shoot slowly changing scenes. And then you got customs, so you can go to town. This is very cool. I like the fact that they gave you some recipes because most people just won't know what to do. All right. You got a tally lamp. That's gangster. That's a little light that comes on in the front right here to let you know that you're shooting. I didn't tell you this, man. I be pressing stuff by accident. My fingers are way too big for this. You got movie self-timer, image stabilization mode. So there's on, and then there's digital IS, which you can turn on and off. And then there's subject tracking, image stabilization, which you can turn on and off. So there's 3 different modes of image stabilization. You got auto level for the horizon. If you are shooting like sort of handheld and you want to keep it straight, you're going to turn auto level on. If you are trying to get that parallax turn a little bit, that Dutch angle as we call it, you want to leave that off. Okay, quick custom controls. This is where you set your camera up to work the way you want it. I'll do that later once I figure out what I like. You got your meter timer for 8 seconds. And yes, this little guy does time code. Family, this little guy does time code. Now, they have it for rec run, which means recording run. Your boy never does that. I'm going to rock free run. But free run time codes are not available in high frame rate. I'll leave it on rec run for now. Normally, I do free run. So, yeah, anyway, time code is... The fact that time code is there is pretty dope. And then you can actually burn the time code into the HDMI. If you're shooting this as a backup camera, like you lock this off in the corner and it's looking at the overall scene, that's actually pretty gangster. And I do time code in the $899 camera. Y'all are like, so Luis and I are like, what? Time code? Right. You got zebra settings. You got the shooting info. You can reverse the display. Auto power temp set to high always on these little cameras. Just is what it is. Standby mode, warning guidance, and HDMI display. So this is where you would turn on your camera plus the monitor, just the monitor. Okay. So there you go. You can back this out. You got your movie servo autofocus, which is set on. Your autofocus area, you got a whole bunch. Whole area, flexible zone, 1, 2, and 3, a 1-point autofocus or spot autofocus. Autofocus isn't normally Canon's specialty, but we'll play with this and figure it out. No shade, Sony just rocks at that. Subject detection, you can set it for people, aminos, auto, none. Osaka's a jerk, so I just leave it on people. And then eye detection, you can enable it always. I always use eye detection. I don't know why. It's just one of my favorite things. You can do your peaking area, manual focus peaking settings set to high in red. I always use peaking. That is when you see the red lines or whatever color you set it for when you have something in focus. I always use peaking, especially in manual focus. It's just a move. I'm going to leave the card stuff alone, but let's see what else they got. Raw image processing. Ooh, nice. You can do some processing in camera. You can do creative assist. You got quick controls, creative filters, resize, cropping, HIF to JPEG conversions. You can do a slideshow mode, and we're going to skip that. We don't care. We don't care. Connect the smartphone. We did that. And let's see what's on the next page. Airplane mode, Wi-Fi settings, camera GPS settings. Curious of what that is. GPS via mobile. Oh, I like that. I'm going to turn that on. But you got to put the Canon app in the phone. But I'm going to leave it on anyway. You can reset your communications. Now this is where you select your recording modes. So I like to keep my file numbers on continuous. You can format the card and you can auto rotate in the computers. Yes, it shoots raw photos, Luis. We got the date and time set up. It's NTSC. That's all there. You got the beep, volume headphones, screen brightness. Let's see how bright we can get it. Ooh, wow. That's Hawaii style. Crank it up to 5, which is going to slow your battery down, but let's go. Here we go for the Paul feature. Can y'all read that? This is the Paul feature. UI magnification. Enable.
You know, you shouldn't talk about him when he's not here.
Okay, so this is what this is for. All of the buttons on the screen just got hugified. I'm gonna actually leave it. I'm teasing Paul shit. I make like I ain't blind. I'll
I was
leave
going
it
to
there.
say you need that.
Okay, cooling fan settings set for automatic. And then lens retraction is after 1 minute. Power savings, reset the camera, don't do that. Now here we get into our custom shooting modes. This is where you can design the buttons that are on the top there. Battery info, copyright info. Look, you got manual, software URL. If you want to get a hold of the manual, you can just scan it right from the back of the phone, which is dope. Hugified, you know what it is. It's after it's already been embiggened, it's been hugified. You got your firmware update. That's cool. You can again play in here with your custom buttons. You can set your function for movie, customize the dial. You can set the direction for the aperture value and the time value. You can do image jumps. Touch controls is on. And then ISO increments. There you go. You can set it for 1/3 or you can change it accordingly. And then you can set off your same thing with your one stop. You can do 1 by 1 or you can do 1/3 stops. I like 1/3 stops. And then we don't want to erase anything. We don't want to clear cameras. And then you can build your own custom menu. Listen, coming from Sony and Fuji, I'm going to have to go ahead and say this menu is, look, check this out, guys. I haven't seen this on the camera in a minute. You know what that red blinking light is trying to indication? Come on, dude. Stop trying to focus on the letters. That red blinking light is letting you know from the front of the camera that your battery is dying. Brilliant. That should be on all cameras because nothing sucks more, and we've all done it. Press record thinking I can squeeze in a little bit more, and no, you can't. You don't have that opportunity. So that's cool. Let me turn this baby off. and let it do its little charging situation. So yeah, that's actually, listen, for what's in here, built-in time code and the whole nine, I gotta say this is a pretty feature-packed camera for the price. We don't know how long that price is going to stay, that price, but $899 is pretty cheap. Now, they make another version with interchangeable lenses that is $699, but I didn't do that because I do have some Canon lenses left. I think they're the right mount. I forgot what mount is on the V50. I do believe I have the right mount. If not, I have adapters, but I still have about 6 Canon lenses. I went with compact system camera because the majority of my content is this designed at people who are brand new to this. And I want people to get into the habit of, like Kathy. Kathy is a perfect example. She is an educator. She's a principal. She manages little children's. She does comedy. She has a whole different life to run. Being like Louise Gretchen and I with a drawer full of lenses and a bunch of shit that's not in her ballpark. Does that mean she can't shoot dope content? Absolutely not. Because nowadays, cameras like this Fuji X106 over there, or the XM5 over there, or the Canon Sony ZV-E1, or the new, the Nikon, Nikon, everybody has brand new pocketable fixed lens cameras that do amazing. The Sony RX100 is legendary for that. And now we're getting them that can do good video. There was a point in time on YouTube back when Casey was coming into being Casey on YouTube. Most people don't realize he was already like 3 seasons into his HBO documentary or docuseries. But the Canon G7X, the numbers always mess me up. The Canon G7, let's just put it that way. The number one camera on YouTube, because it was a pocketable camera that shot good 1080 video, and every person on the planet who was trying to do any sort of vlogging style YouTube was using that camera. It's still available to this day for like $40 less, which is stupid. Buy this one. Most people, I watched somebody new yesterday. I'm at Pro Camera. Kid comes in. He wants to start his channel. He's talking about getting the FX3 and, doing this and doing that. And I was like, no, you don't want to do that. And he was like, why? I'm like, you about to spend $4 or $5 grand of your parents' money or your college fund or your weed money, and you don't even know if you love it yet. I'm like, get a pocket camera, $1,000, run it ragged, make sure you know what you're doing, build your content from there, see if you like it. If you like it, boom, sell that sucker, because pocket cameras hold resale value right now. You can buy an old Sony RX100 for like $2 grand right now. You could buy it off the shelf for $1,100. Pocket cameras are so expensive right now, especially older ones. People are paying $1,000 for the old Canon G7 I'm talking about, like $1,000 for a camera that came out in 2014. Because everybody wants that quick, pull it out your pocket, shoot. It also has a little bit of a retro look to it. So I was like, learn how to shoot on a ZV-1 or this PowerShot V1. And Gretchen bought the other version of this, the original version of this, which was the V10, right? You have that, right?
Yeah.
Basically the same thing. These people are making cameras for vlogging now, and they're going back to what that older Canon was. And I'll get the name right when I look it up, because I keep forgetting what it's called. Anyway,
And it had that red light on it that lets you know when the battery is going
the
down.
original PowerShot did.
The V10 does.
Oh,
Yeah.
the V10
it's
does.
great.
Okay, cool. It's
Yeah.
it's a brilliant feature. So people, you really got to learn to just start shooting with this kind of stuff first because you'll use it. And going back to what Bull said, now I understand they have a specific task because they're trying to do sports content. This is where it jacks people up because you're like, oh, I got this little guy. And then because some YouTuber said, now I got to get a gimbal. And then because some YouTuber said, I got to get this and I got to get that. And then you're not going to shoot no more because now it's not grab this, run outside, get the making. It's grab this, run outside, start pressing a bunch of shit, trying to figure stuff out. You know, I told everybody, if you get an Osmo Pocket 3, man, if you didn't buy one now, you're jacked. The price went up $400. Or $300. Either way, it went from when Luis told you to buy it at Costco for $450 is $900 for the creator kit right now. Thank you, Pumpkin. DJI Osmo Pocket Trace. You $799 for the creator kit. No, that's not the creator kit. That's the regular camera. Jesus Christ, bruh. Oh, this God. It went up a couple $100. It's not as high as I thought, but it went up a lot. That's crazy. Anyway, you just put that thing in auto and go shoot. Like, get to know what you know, play around, have fun, figure it out, make a whole bunch of content, and then call it a day. For the first time in human history, it's cheaper to buy stuff in Canada. Daniel, we and Keely and Daniel used to talk so much about how much it costs with Moose dollars. At this point in time, I'm going to just go to the YKK or YCC or whatever the heck Calgary is called and buy shit up there. It's cheaper. It's kind of funny. And like Kathy said, still rocking the ZV-1. Like, a very incredible camera. And if you find the right person who's not trying to milk the fact that these cameras are worth more, you can buy a ZV-E1 used for less than $300. ZV-1, sorry. I keep saying E1 because that's what I have. Brand Nubian, it's still $750, but let's go to the used department. Yeah, it averages $350, $380 for a used one. Like, super good camera. Even Luis had the ZV-1F, and you know, that was you can buy one for $350 right now. And he just got that one to Katie's daughter because she's like trying to learn how to do this. There are people right now who will take that $350 ZV-1F and its limited set of features and respect it for what it is and go shoot amazing content and build a 6-7 figure business. And then you got people running around here trying to buy a $6,000 camera, still don't respect it for what it can do, and gripe and complain their way into the credit card bill it takes to pay off that $6,000 camera. Legit. It's rough right now out these streets. You may have to hold on to what you hold on to. You might look at this V1 and go, kind of like it. I kind of want it. But maybe take what you got and finish learning how to use it. Maybe take the camera that you have in your studio off the tripod and go outside. You'll be amazed at, how the image quality that you're complaining about that you don't like, take it outside and shoot and see what it does. And you'll realize that what it is those Elgato lights that you bought suck. That's what you'll find out. Well, you won't. You'll still come back in and blame the software because, of course, the software did it. It can't be the fact that you don't have enough light in your space. Rich said rocking 4 ZV-1s. That's what I'm talking about. That's actually a brilliant setup, right? For the price and what you can do with it, and they just work. You just plug them in and they go. I'm telling you, compact system cameras and things like the Osbot right now are just gold. And the thing that's cool about this is, as a hybrid camera, it can shoot phenomenal video, and it can also shoot phenomenal photos, which we'll find out. I'm gonna go run around today. I still got to go to Baba's house. We got some final things to tighten up. Before the brother, he said they all fell off the truck. That's my man's. Before her brother goes back to New York. Dean said hi, Luis. By the way, he asked about you, and I was like, he's still Luis. He's still crazy. Luis and I were in New York, and we got to meet up with Karen's brother, and finish off a bottle of 40-year-old whiskey. So that was a highlight of Luis's career. Yeah, and family, I just want to say, man, like this time is so good right now. Like it's so easy to get stuck in the craziness that's going on, but we can make it better just by keep creating. We keep creating. If nothing else, we can just distract people from the stupid stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's super junk. Dude, Godox JB in was that thing we went to, Paul? NAB? Gobox. That is so not their name. Godox had a bunch of new kit, especially with colorful lights and small speed lights for people that are shooting photos. They had a massive booth. They were putting in work. Yeah. But they come up with some interesting stuff. They've grown up a lot as a company. I think Godox and Newer, whichever you want to call it, they both have grown up a lot over the last couple of years as far as the cool stuff that they make. There was a light company every 15 steps. And remember, it takes 10 steps to get out of a booth. So everywhere we went, there was another light company. We saw about 20 light companies we ain't never heard of before. There's light companies everywhere. There's no reason to have shitty lights in your studio. It just ain't. There's so much good stuff out there.
And they're so small.
Yeah, a lot of small stuff. You know what was, to me, I still think one of the highlights, and Paul would tell you the look on my face when I seen him, my name about melted, the Stream Decks with no case. And the first thing I thought of was me and Luis printing some random crazy shit so you can build a custom Stream Deck like console. And I was just like, bro, it's so cool. You can make anything you want. And it's just,
I was just thinking of like a 30-panel Stream Deck. Everything
like
you could
that
ever
kind of
think
goes
of
around like this. So it looks like looks like you're flying a plane. And then Paul will be like, shoo, 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 shoo. Put a Q in the front. Buy this. Here's an affiliate link. This might get you in trouble. These are just suggestions. Like, you just got all the buttons. Like, it is super, super rad. And I would think the one I probably would get first would be the little 6 button that I teased Michelle about so much. But I would basically use it for changing the context of the big ones. And I never thought about that. That's a good reason to have a little one, because you can put the little one close by and you just use it to change context on the big ones. So I can, swap pages.
That's what I have. My Plus is basically that. It kind of controls all the other ones. It brings up specific pages for, like, if I'm moderating, it opens up all my moderator streams. I have a button on it in the morning I hit, and it opens up all the programs and puts everything in the position that I use it. But, and then I switch it into other modes. But that's one of the key things that the Plus uses for, because it has 8 buttons.
You are sleeping on an incredible video about my Stream Decks and how I use them. I can guarantee, I'm going to say something real crazy. I'm willing to bet you $50. I can guarantee that video is a 50,000 plus video. Guaranteed.
It's actually in the works.
Don't work nothing. Just do it. Make it crusty, and then shoot it again. Let me finish. Make it crusty now. Shoot it again. Make it better. Shoot it again. Make it better. Shoot it again. Make it flawless. And I still will put money on the crusty one will outperform the flawless one. I'll bet $100 the crusty one will outperform the flawless one.
Well, it was originally planned to be worked on this week. I had it kind of all mapped out. And then I realized I screwed up my NAB ticket. And somehow I inadvertently put on a COVID excursion on the ticket. and it was
so
not
stupid.
refundable, and they wouldn't take it back. So I've been traveling down that road this week. So
It's so
it's
stupid. The COVID excursion. I listen. I don't know what kind of secret squirrel shit you was doing in your room because none of the rest of us got sick. It's only Paul.
it was
Paul,
the
I just
airport on
want
the
to
way
know
home.
what kind of like grinder, Tinder, twister, whatever the hell you was pressing. I should have
You,
heard those
hey, I
noises I
didn't even
heard
have
from your
time
room
for any
wasn't
of
a
that.
vacuum.
You wore me out, started me early in the morning, and it was like past my bedtime when I get back to the hotel at 13,000 steps a day. So
Bro, that's the truth. It's super funny. I was teasing on the last day, was teasing with Corey from Libsyn. I was like, yo, Apple Watch thinks somebody stole my watch. Cause my Apple Watch is like, who the hell did 20,000 steps in this dude's watch? Somebody call the police. My watch has been stolen from its owner. It's moving way too much.
I think the first day it was over 16,000 steps.
Oh
And
yeah, because the
my,
airport.
yep.
You know what? Yesterday, Paul, I was sitting here and I was going, damn, I kind of want one of them burgers from that joint we went to.
Oh, yes.
The barcode.
Oh,
Them burgers was freaking the bomb. Oh my God, it was so good. It was
that and
absolute blast.
breakfast from the bagel place. Mm.
Stand clips. What? The stand clips on. I don't understand that product. Cause you can make new stands now, yeah. The thing that's really cool about the sort of module situations, right? Like, is once you build out your studio and you got like some desks, the biggest fight with Stream Decks has always been the angle that they put it in is at a good angle for somebody. It ain't the good angle for me. Like my Stream Deck Plus, it looks pretty at that angle. It's not functional to me at that angle. I always wanted to be a little bit flatter. So, the goal for me is to take this base off and decrease this angle to about right here, right? But luckily, this piece is so easy to come off, and this is just plastic, and I have the bamboo. So I can easily take this out, measure it up real quick with my calipers, and just make a new one, drill the little holes in it, and give myself the tilt that I like. The other thing that's cool is with this little guy, this piece is just a 3D printed angle changer. Because the angle that this guy is at, which is it has magnets in it. The angle of this is just dumb, right? Yeah, that angle, I can't F with that. That's like
What?
30 some degrees and it's too high. I need it to be skinnier. So that's what came on this one, Joe. Same exact angle. This big one came with that same back. So this is just 3D print and then boink. So it sits flat on the desk. I should have made the cutout for the cable bigger, but all it did was change the angle to this. So now I have an 8-9 degree angle and it's gorgeous. Like it's not all high and whatnot.
Well,
Yeah, but Doc,
if you
this
don't
is
have access,
if this
Go
is
ahead.
the device right here,
Yeah.
like how much smaller can they make it, and what does that do for us?
it's just
No,
the
no,
board.
no. Take
What
all the
they-
plastic off and just give the board,
Oh,
right?
You can build
And
your own.
You build your own thing and you can get nuts with it. And it comes in all sizes, right? You got the 15 size, you got the 6. I got pictures in here. Let me get out my thing.
If you don't have access to a 3D printer, what I did is I took an iPod or an iPhone stand,
Brilliant.
and then I just adjusted it. So I have all of mine set on these, and I can adjust the angle however I want it to be.
That's brilliant. And you can buy them from Amazon for $5.
those are at every.
Ooh.
Those are at every.
I
dollar
have a
store.
couple of those around here, Paul. Thank
That's
you.
Brilliant.
I got
You-
a
you
dollar
know me,
store
I've
up the
got
street
everything
that's
around here.
Goes by the bins.
Yeah, the dollar store always got them in the front. Like, on the way out, last minute buy this. You need this kind of thing. Dollar store, look what I got. Thanks, Matt. Yeah, dollar store always got them suckers just like chilling around. You could just easily snatch it up, right? Here,
Oh, that's
Joe, I made a video on the channel from the day that we went Dude, did you guys see my stupid ass thumbnail from yesterday? That's pretty
Yes.
funny, right?
In the barrel. That was pretty funny.
I was like, young people are not going to get this. Luckily, my channel is for old people because no young person will understand that joke. But like old people will get it. And then I had showed it to Karen and she could not stop laughing. She was like, the AI did a bad job of making it look like you. But
It's the real
rest is-
McCoys. It's
is
like,
hilarious.
really?
First, I
Super
thought it was a
funny,
dress, and then I realized it was a barrel.
We used to have it at my grandma's house, and then you pull the barrel down and the thing would pee on you. You know what I'm talking
Yep.
about? There was like a little plastic
Yep.
toy, and they had the other one as an outhouse, and then you nosy and you open the door, and then the water would spray you in the face. It's super funny.
Anybody who old cartoons like didn't Wile E. Coyote always end up in a barrel in the early cartoons for some reason?
When they
Like,
get blasted with the like burnt
Yeah.
or something, they would always do that. All right, here, where'd it go? I got it.
Going over the falls.
yes, going over the falls. Yeah.
Okay, here's why you probably didn't see this, Joel, is I realized I didn't make one with that's not the right browser. You need the Chrome browser. I didn't put a thumbnail on it because I was going to bed because I was staying up too late with Mary Lou and Corey and Paul trying to go into this restaurant and then they kicked us out. Freaking a-holes. What was that place
Was that the
called, Paul?
restaurant with-
When we
is
went
that
to
the
the
place with the shake?
hey, stop talking, Doc. We went to the was Venetian, right?
Yes.
Right, and then we tried to go to the place, and they're like, "Oh, you can't be here. Oh, you can't stand here. Oh, this is private. Like, get out of my damn face, a holes." Here, I'll show you.
And then I went and had the shake. I don't know if I still recovered from that thing.
Oh, that shake. That's the one. That shake was the deadly. That's how you got COVID. Was
Probably.
eating that shake. Look, see, Joel, it's just a board. That's a bad pause, Doc. So it's just a circuit board with the buttons and the top cover. So you can put it like, especially people like Luis who be with the foam board and the scotch tape and the duct tape and the glue. You could build a custom panel like this. Now, my boy Chris made this. Chris works at Elgato. He's our rep. But like me personally, I would have taken the blue and put it down here to the top and then stuck this right here. So it would have been like in one square. You know what I mean? Like I would have evened it out, but still, that is crazy. And what's the dude's name? What's this guy's name? Kevin. Kevin is correct. My desk is made out of wood and it's made out of a tree stump. So if I wanted to ruin a $4,000 cold wood top, I could just get my router out and make a perfectly inset into the desk and then have my buttons like in my desk, which is kind of crazy. It's
Just hope you don't drop anything.
I think they're pretty tough because I've definitely dropped my phone on my Stream Deck many a times
No,
or
I
had
just
the
mean
overhead
dropping
camera
something.
fall on it.
Yeah, you just drop something on the desk and it triggers.
I mean, I saw the video. I mean, I didn't see why you couldn't do it with the current model.
Oh, because you
But
got to
as
take.
I'm looking at it now. It's
Yeah,
it's
you know what I'm
pretty tight. You'd have to be a good craftsman to get at that.
Bro, I am a good craftsman.
I knew that was coming.
Well, it's true. Before,
It was self-directed.
Crafty,
but yes.
maybe.
would you say, Paul?
I said crafty maybe, and I don't mean that in the art.
Like
and
she's
sense.
crafty. She's just my type. Paul just referenced Beastie Boys. The stream is over. It's time to go. Paul just referenced Beastie Boys on my stream, bro. Well, here's a little story. Oh, they made a song named after him. That's why. I just thought of it. And
That song had its 40-year anniversary just recently.
that's crazy, right?
Oh.
And okay, here's a trivia question. I know Joel knows the answer, but does Paul know the answer? Who was the Beastie Boys producer? You should know this. All right, chat stream. What do you call those people? Community, LGL family. Who can tell us who was the Beastie Boys producer and why should Mr. Duncan know the answer? Let's go. I'm going to see if my people know. You know, right, Joe? Don't snitch. Yeah, okay. I just double check it. I know you knew, but I said, wait, it's wrong. He's this way. I know you knew, but I said to double check. You know?
I think Rich got it.
Nope. I mean the other one. He's the EP. Like, he was the money man. But, like, it'll come to you. It'll come to you. It's actually on the first album. Actually, no. It was on the Third Base album where they mentioned it the most, but it's funny.
I've
Anyway.
seen two names, Paul Boutique and the Rick Rubin guy.
Yeah, it was Paul Boutique's name.
What's his name?
Yeah, what's his hip hop? You don't go by Paul Duncan. You go by something else. Prince Paul. It's Prince Paul. There you go.
Oh God.
Why is she laughing? Gretchen's tired. Anyway, we got class in a half an hour. I'm gonna go drink one more coffee. Thank you guys
You
for
have to
hanging
read your
out
manual.
today. I'm gonna go
have to
play
read
I've
with
been
your
on
manual
grandma
before class.
duty for 2 weeks, so it's like I'm tired now. I came back to laugh. So
Paul was on grandpa duty for a week. He had to put up with me and Mary Lou. So that's a whole. Oh, he said. 'Cause
I
Prince
heard
Paul
from
is
Mary
singing to
Lou.
me.
I heard.
Yeah,
Well,
dude.
And then at the hotel, I have my room, and on one side of me is Doc, and on the other side of me is Jill.
Oh
So it's
dear.
like,
We had to put
Jill
Mike at
thought
the
she was-
opposite end of the hallway with Brandon, guys.
it was hysterical. Jill thought she was going to be cute and beat on the wall to get my room, and she hit the wall and realized that the wall was cement. It wasn't
Ouch.
wood.
Oh no.
I have both AT. The Vertex is a little bit heavier. So if you remember NAB, you see me around with it. The purple one is the former, and the black one is the latter. Where's the black one? Here's a little story I'm about to tell about two bad brothers you know so well. So here's the Vertex pouch. Actually, good sauce. Come here. Get over here. That is not the right camera. All right, here's the Vertex pouch. I really like it. My favorite feature about this particular pouch is when you open it, you can do, like, it can sit kind of like a desk. You know what I mean? There's a little magnet right around here somewhere. And so it, see that? So you can leave that, and then you got, cords, pins, whatever right here. Ample space on the inside. You can go to town. So I do like this when it's sitting on the desk because it's flat bottom. Where that makes it problematic, and you'll notice that it's stitched right here, it doesn't compress very well. So if you don't need all of this space, you still carrying all of that space, even if the bag is primarily empty. So the rigid nature of the Vertex pouch gives it a little something to be desired. I do like the integrated handle, so you can just grab it. And I do love the zipper, the fact that you can see in here. But if you do like I do and leave this back zipper open without opening the whole bag, if I were to say put phone or something in there, I can get it. I can reach inside the whole bag by leaving both zippers open. If you close the other internal zipper, it just becomes a pouch. So I do like that. It's a little bit versatility in that situation. So if I close this now, it's just a pouch. Like your fingers are going to stop there. But if you leave it open, then you can fit through. So what that allows you to do is leave like a little hole, put your battery right here, put your phone in the front, and then you got a little cable pass through. You know what I'm saying? So it's just amazing. Soft pocket in the back. This guy go. My purple one, which is the tech case, is packed right now because I ain't finished unpacking it. But that's the one that I was carrying around NAB or using it as a body bag on most days. They're both good. And the reason why I have both. Actually, I have 2 Vertex pouches and a tech pouch. So, if you want a Vertex pouch, you want this one? I bought 2. I like the other one better. The other one has the X pack, if that makes sense. This is a different pouch, but this is the X pack material. I also like the X pack because I got it with the O-ring on the inside. Because in the
that's
airplane, you can see what the frog you're doing.
That is so important. I hate camera bags that have the black interior. It makes it so hard. That's why I like my Shimoda, because it's not.
I
Yeah.
just went, look, you got to have the O-ring on the inside. It makes life much better. Makes life much better. Anyway, let me go eat. I'll bring the other one down for class so I can show you AT, and then we can kind of pick. Because the purple one's there. It's just full of crap, but I'll unpack it during class, and then I can show you, and we can make an executive decision. But that's a damn good question. All right, I do believe I have DocRock.live/alpaca. I'm pretty sure they didn't give me a full affiliate thing yet, but I think they get something. What'd you say, Paul? Does that work?
He said, I'm looking to see if I don't see it on my list anyway.
Vroom. If I look at my here, I'll give it to you. Let me give it to you. ALPAKA. Alpaca. I have 24 alpaca items. He has a problem. But hey, you can say one thing: your man's is brand loyal. When I find something I like what I like. You know what I mean?
Which size do you have of that?
For which?
The alpaca pouch you were showing?
The Vertex, they're only one size. Actually, no, I think they made a new one.
Yeah, is it?
I have the OG one. Hold on, they're making me do this. I guess I kind of like it. They do this to help eliminate spam people. Oh, I see. They want me to email it to AT directly versus like put a link on the interweb, which I get. It's a little bit irritating. ALICIA. I'm not going to say your whole thing on the internet. Don't worry. I just got to find it. I know I have it. No, you can ask any question you wish, but be quick about it because I'm about to hang up. You can ask anything.
Kevin wants one too.
Huh?
Kevin wants one too.
All right. Well, I'll just take
link.
I'll take the link that I'm sending to Alicia, and then I'll just bootleg it to Kevin. Here, that's how we do it. All right, I got it. Here you go. There's Alicia's email address, and there's my name, and then I send it. Oh, wait, but that's going to send it to her, not to me. Okay. Let me go back to my email and see if I have Kevin's in here. Cox.
You now have 12 minutes to class.
It's okay. I got it. Man, there's Kevin. Oh, dude, this looks like a fake email address, Kevin. But it's funny because it's almost like you should have your email address at Cox Cable. I think it would make more sense. Okay, Alpaca, you're being a troublemaker. It's not letting me send it again. Okay, so put that email address, and then, okay, Kevin, you got it. And I spelled my name wrong, but you know who I am. All right. Oh, cool. You're a baby. 54. You're a small baby. All right. Here's the advice.
A youngin.
A youngin. First of all, thank you. I appreciate you for hanging out with us. We come and do this all the time. As you can tell, if you're only 54, you're 20 years younger than Paul. I should stop teasing Paul because I think Paul and Gretchen are the same age.
We are actually 6 months apart. I'm a month away from 69.
Jesus criminy. Jesus
I'm
criminy.
approaching 70.
Okay, so Tens, we are here every Tuesday, Saturday at roughly this time. It's normally 8 a.m. Hawaiian. I'm GMT minus 10. But you're welcome to ask any questions. You could also select any video, right? I love that name for Tanzania. Amazing name. You can select any video and drop your question on that video. And if it's something you want to keep secret squirrel, you can just email me, DocRock, at Google's email address. You know what it is. And I'm more than happy to help you because the whole reason why I do this is so that those of us that grew up watching Saturday morning cartoons and once had a black and white TV, we have so much information, knowledge, stories to tell, and many of us are shy to bring our channels out because we grew up in the age that nobody wants to hear from you. And I still think it's funny. Paul heard me say this a lot at NAB. I laugh when I don't mean to be mean. I'm just honest. I laugh when I see the 24-year-old kid talking about he a life coach. And I'll be like, nephew, bro, I got draws older than you. What the hell are you talking about? You're a life coach at 24 years old. Oh, I'm a financial advisor. Cool. How old are you? 23? You going to advise me not to buy a latte? What the hell are you talking about, financial advisor at 23? Like, I'm just saying, eat a sandwich. No shade to the kids because they have no fear. They do what they want. But, yeah, our people, we got so much info, so much knowledge, and we be a little bit scared. So I appreciate you for coming through. And Joel and Paul and what's that girl's name, Gretchen? How did I get me on here twice? Where did Joel's face go? I don't need to be on here 2 times. Anyway, thank you guys for coming through and hanging out today. I really, really appreciate you. You guys are the reason why we do this here thing. And then see y'all on Tuesday when I bring back that other weird girl and we record some Creators Unstuck. But appreciate you. I realized that May 2nd will be, did I write? I think I got to add it up again. May 2nd will be the halfway point of shooting these videos every day. That's crazy. Like, that is legit crazy. Hold on, let me double check something. I think it is May 2nd. Yeah, so today is day 169. So the video that comes out today will be 169. And that's not including the 50 or so shorts that I threw in there. I just eliminated those from the calculation. If we add those, I've done over 200 videos since November 1st. So trust you me, it can be done. With all myriad sorts of things. I came home from the funeral and made a video. Like, I'm not letting any excuse. I have reasons I could have not done it. Couple of days. Especially at NAB when Paul and we rolled into the house at 11:30, like done, and we got to be up the next morning at like 7. I still made the video. So like, I don't have a lot of space for excuses. I'm sorry. That's just the way I am. Anyway, I love you guys. Appreciate you. Paul, start mapping out that Stream Deck video. Let's get an outline done for class today because I think it's gold, bro. I know I want to see it. It's for me. I want to watch it because my Stream Deck game is a little effed. Anyway,
I want to see it too.
Tell him, Joe. We're going to harass him. All right, guys. Love you. Peace out. A-Town Stomp.
City of mine, how I love city of mine. It never gets me down.